constructive and destructive interference. So in this now we have seen in the previous discussion that when the waves meet at a point in the same phase, it is called constructive interference. I told you that example where there are two sources and their waves were meeting at a point P. Okay, so there is a source here, there is a source here, and they are meeting here. So like this. Okay, this is S2 and this is S1. So if they are meeting at this point P and they are in phase, then you can use the concept of principle of superposition. And if they are in phase, it is constructive interference. If they are not in phase, that is destructive interference. So in constructive interference, what happens? Maximum brightness or maximum sound will come. In destructive, it will be minimum sound. So the next 2 points, they talk about the phase difference. When the phase difference is even multiple of pi, it is a constructive interference. When it is an odd multiple of pi, it is a destructive interference. Okay, so in constructive interference, you need to add the amplitudes, whereas in the destructive, you need to subtract. So amplitude dies down. If both are same amplitudes from two different functions, wave functions, your amplitude becomes 0. Here it becomes double. In the terms of light, it will become more brighter. Okay. And when we talk about intensities, we have seen that it is root over I1 plus I2. Root over I1 plus root over I2. Right? Whereas in the case of constructive, it is root over I1 plus I2, root over I2. Whereas in the case of destructive, it is root over I1 minus root over I2. Okay, so there is a dip here in the case of destructive and there is a rise in the case of constructive. So we'll be talking about interference phenomena using Young's experiment. So this experiment was conducted to establish the wave nature of light. So here what they do is they take a single source and through this source light beam is emanated. It falls on another screen which has got two slits. Now these two slits are very very small and this is the third screen. Here a interference pattern is observed. That means dark spots, white spots, dark spots, like that a pattern is observed. Now light, if it has a particle nature, particle like a bullet, if a bullet goes through this hole, it will go and get sticked on some particular point. Okay, so if light had a particle nature, such type of behavior would have been observed. ये छेद में से अगर कोई बुलेट को छोड़ेंगे, बुलेट मतलब पार्टिकल, it would go to the screen and stick on a point. But because light is not just a particle, it behaves like wave. You are seeing bright spots, dark spots, then again bright spots, then again dark spots. You are seeing a pattern. So that pattern is interference. Okay, it is because of interference phenomenon. So here one diagram is shown here. This is the source. These are the two sources, S1 and S2. They are the slits. The gap between them is small d. It is very very less, comparable to the wavelength of the coming wave, light wave, and we are taking a particular point P. Okay, so this is the central line. So from here it is at a x distance. So here we have studied the concept of path difference. What is the path difference? You have a source S1, S2, S1P will be there, S2P will be there. S2P is the wave. It's not a straight line, it's a wave. S1p is a wave, so there will be some path difference. Okay, depending upon the path difference, we said it will be destructive or constructive in the first slide. Okay, so here what is happening, S2 minus S1p is equal to n lambda. If I say n can be 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, now we will calculate this S2p minus S1p whole square. See, if you see this diagram, we are trying to establish a relation, we are trying to get an expression for the path difference. We are finally trying to arrive a path difference expression. Okay, for that what we will do, we will take this diagram S2p. Okay, so it is a right angle triangle. I can draw a dotted line here. S2p hypotenuse, S1p also is a hypotenuse. Okay, so this gap is d, so S1 is d by 2 from this horizontal line, S2 is d by 2 from this horizontal line. So what will be the value of S2p? It will be, you can see here, it will be d square plus x plus d by 2 whole square. It will be, this is x, so what is this? This is d by 2, x plus d by 2 whole square. And similarly, for S1p whole square, it will be d square and it will be x minus d by 2 whole square. Okay, so it is a plus b whole square minus a, it is a square plus b square minus, see, if you expand this, you finally get this 2xt. Okay, if you expand this, this is x plus d by 2 whole square, you need to write in terms of a plus b whole square, and finally you will get 2xt. Okay, now here S1 S2 is given as S1 S2 is d and OP is x. OP is x. So you are getting from this expression S2p minus S1p is equal to 2xt divided by S2p plus S1p, a square minus b square. We are using that expression. Okay, so we have to find out now this denominator value. So for the finding out the denominator value, if let us say this x, and here we are taking that the screen distance is capital D, and the distance, the gap between the slits is small d. If small d is very very less than d, you can take this S2p plus S1p as 2d. This denominator you can take it as 2d. Okay, calculate this value of S2p plus S1p in the denominator. Let us calculate this denominator value. So in example he says that take d is equal to 0.1 centimeter and capital D is equal to 100 centimeter. 100 centimeter is the distance between the hole and the screen. Small d is the distance between the slits. Slits means a small hole. Okay, you can see that 0.1 is cannot compare with 100 centimeter. So this condition is we are following. Now here what happens, let us say OP is equal to 1 centimeter. OP, this distance x is 1 centimeter, D is 100 centimeter and small d is 0.1 centimeter. Then if you substitute in this equation, okay, you can find, you see, we will find out S2p plus S1p. Okay, S2p, what will be S2p? S2p from this diagram, S2p will be root over d square, capital D square, plus d plus x by 2. D by 2, this is d by 2, this is d by 2, x plus d by 2 whole square plus capital D whole square. S2p is the hypotenuse, you have to take under root. So this is the expression. Okay, and similarly you can find out S1p also. S1p, what will be? It is basically this. Okay, it will be d square plus x minus d by 2 whole square. Okay, under root of that. because we are taking here S2P and S1P. If you calculate this value, you will get 200.01. So if you take 2D, 2 into capital D, you are getting 200. So how much error is there? The error is 0.005%. So you can say that S2P plus S1P is approximately equal to 2D. Okay, so you need to substitute that in this equation now. So it is 2xd divided by 2 capital D. 2 and 2 will be cancelled. Okay, 2 and 2 will be cancelled. You need, in the denominator, you need to put 2 times capital D. Then you get this expression. So S2P minus S1P is equal to x small d by capital D. So this is the expression we have got. What is this? What is S2P minus S1P? It is path difference. We are trying to find the path difference. Why we are trying to find out, that we will see. So hence we will have a constructive interference resulting in a bright region. I told you, when constructive interference comes, bright regions will be coming. And when they will be coming? So they will be coming when xd by capital D is equal to n lambda. And we have discussed here that it should be following the even series. Okay, so from here I can find out the position of x. What is the position of x? From this central line I can know the locations where bright regions will come, in the positive x direction and in the negative x direction. Positive means here upward, negative means downward. Okay, in both directions I can know the locations where bright regions will come. And what is the condition for that? Xd by capital D should be equal to n lambda. So from here I will get xn is equal to n lambda d, just cross multiply, n lambda d by small d. So for these regions we will get constructive interference. On the other hand, we will get destructive interference resulting in dark regions when xd by d is n plus 1 by 2 lambda. Okay, so when it is a fraction, for this you need to see that wave 1 lecture I have given, where I have talked about superimposition of waves, and I have talked about when it will be, I have taken a case when it is odd and even, like that I have taken, and I have done a small derivation that you need to see. If it is n plus 1 by 2 lambda, it will be a destructive interference. If it is n lambda, that means if it is a integral numbers like 1 2 3 plus or minus 1 2 3, plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 3, you are going to get constructive interference. When it is 1.5 2.5 minus 1.5 minus 2.5, like that, you are going to get destructive interference. Okay, these two conditions you need to remember. For numericals it is often useful when constructive interference will come. And what are we calculating here? Here we are calculating the location of constructive and destructive interferences. X gives you the location. If you keep on changing the x value, you will get different spots where constructive interference will come. Constructive means bright regions will come. Destructive means dark regions will come. Something like this, you see the white portions in between, those are the bright regions. Then you are seeing the dark regions, then you are seeing the bright regions. So if you want to know the bright and the dark regions, you have to calculate the x value. Okay, you can see the value of x has to be calculated. So you can see that dark and bright bands appear on the screen. Now this is the wave phenomena. This is the wave phenomena. Okay, now such bands are called fringes. Such bands are called fringes. So what are we interested? When I show you this type of a figure, you would be interested in knowing what is the fringe width. What is the fringe width? Okay, so you are going to get equal number of dark and bright spots. They are equally spaced. This is also important point. and the distance between two consecutive bright or dark fringes. So here individually they are fringes, but if you want to take the distance between two dark fringes or two bright fringes, it is given by this expression beta is equal to lambda into capital D by small d, where capital D is the distance between the hole and the screen, and small d is the distance between the slits. Okay, so this is also a very useful formula. You should remember that. This is the formula for fringe width. Fringe width means either take two consecutive dark or you take two consecutive bright. So in this diagram, actually a graph has been, you see this x-axis is the x, that is distance from the central line. Okay, and you can see the interference pattern here. Two cases have been presented. D is equal to 0.005 mm, that is beta is equal to 5 mm. Okay, here you are getting the beta value as 5 mm, and here you are getting beta value as 1 mm. Okay, you see the pattern has changed. Okay, so here the D value is, here the D value is even more less, here the D value is more, it is 5 times of this actually. The second one, this 0.25 microns is 5 times of the first one. You see the interference pattern has changed, but they are following a particular pattern. Okay, so this is the wave nature. So with this experiment, Young established that light also have a wave nature. Okay, however light has a particle nature also. In fact, light has a dual nature that we will see in the coming chapter, but here we are discussing light is a wave phenomena. So for wave phenomena, interference pattern helps you a lot.